Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm really excited to be making this video, probably more excited than any other video that I've made so far, and that's because it's new bike day. Now, I know I kind of announced it on my Instagram a little bit, but I mean, I didn't get to tell you guys exactly which bike it was, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been on a couple rides on this beast already, and it is just that, it is a beast. This is the 2021 Specialized Enduro Expert, which means that, no, it's not the S-Works edition, because that is not in my budget, but yeah, I'll go over the components and everything and like all the good stuff on this bike because I am so freaking stoked on it. And yeah, either way, it's just, this thing's a beast, and I've gotten to ride it a little bit already and I'm like completely in love with it, so yeah. Alright, so at this point I've kind of just done a lot of drooling over my bike, so now I'm kind of going to take the time to show you guys the components, share with you some of my favorite things about the bike, maybe a couple things that I don't like so far, but honestly that's going to be a pretty short list because this bike is freaking amazing. So yeah, I'll start walking you through the components, probably start with the suspension and everything, but yeah. Alright, up front I've been rocking the Fox 38 Performance Elite fork with the Grip 2 damper up top, which I've really been liking. So yeah, major step up from my old fork on the old bike that I've been riding, which had the 32mm stanchions. So this one's a little bit beefier, it's got the 38mm stanchions up front. This is a 170 fork, and in the rear this is 170 travel as well, which means that this bike is a monster. I'll kind of get into that more later, but yeah, 29er with 170 front and rear, which means that this bike can handle basically anything. So in terms of my suspension and my shock in the rear, I'm rocking the Fox X2 Performance Elite shock in the back. So both of these shocks are the kind of lesser counterparts to their factory editions, which doesn't necessarily mean that their performance is any different, but it's just missing the Kashima coating, which is can usually make it last a little bit longer, and I've heard that it can help make the suspension feel a little smoother as you're riding it. But either way, they both work amazingly well. So yeah, next up I'll start talking about the drivetrain. This is a SRAM 12-speed X01 drivetrain Eagle, and then in the back my cassette is 10 to 52 tooth, which is a huge step up from what I was riding before. I was riding the Specialized Stump Jumper from 2016, which had the 2 rings in the front, and then I think it had 10 in the back. So that's a big step up for me, and I've been loving that so far. 170mm cranks. I'm not exactly sure what the name of the cranks are. I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere up here because I'll probably find it online after I'm done doing this. But yeah, overall this frame is an S3. That's kind of the one that just ended up fitting me right and what felt the best. But yeah. All right, now I'm going to take some time to talk about the brakes. So this bike comes stock with the SRAM Code RS brakes, which are kind of the middle of the ground enduro brakes that SRAM makes, and they are beasts, I have to say. They are 4-piston in the front and the rear, and you kind of can't see it super well, but that means that there's a 200mm rotor in the rear and then a 220mm rotor in the front, which means that this bike has crazy stopping power. So it's built to go fast, but that also means that it's built to stop fast, which means that I just have a crap ton of confidence whenever I ride. So that is super cool, super stoked on that. It comes with a X-Fusion Manic, I think it's 150mm dropper post with a Specialized bridge seat saddle, which I've been loving so far too. This is super comfy, and yeah, I've been loving that. Alright, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the cockpit. I kind of went over a little bit with the brakes and with the dropper and the shifter and the like drivetrain stuff a little bit, but yeah, so basically this is a 35 millimeter alloy stem, which I've been loving. There's not too much to deal with there. 780 millimeter bars with a 30 millimeter rise, which I've been loving too. It feels like a really perfect width for this bike right here. And it came stock with these Deity grips as well. I'm not exactly sure which ones these are. I can try to figure it out, but these have felt amazing. I don't think I've ever ridden any grips that I like better, but yeah, so that seems to be it kind of in terms of like the basic components. So now I'll kind of go into some of my favorite random parts of the bike. Okay, so one of my favorite things about this bike, or a couple of my favorite things about this bike, are the storage, like random storage compartments that are inside of it. So I'm going to show you my favorite part, or like my favorite little thing to flex on this bike. And I don't know if you guys are ready because this thing is sick. But here it is. So this is the SWAT tool, is what they call it. So it's inside your headset. You flip this thing and you pull it out, and it's a multi-tool. Like, I don't know why I find this so cool, but I do. It's literally the sickest thing ever in my mind. So just do that, and then now you don't have to carry a multi-tool with you if you don't want to. And I've only been on three rides with this thing so far, and I've already used it like 5 times because it's just so convenient and so easy to use. So this thing is sick. And then next on the list of super cool things in terms of storage that Specialized did with this bike is the SWAT container, which can be a little hard to open sometimes, but basically you just pop off your water bottle cage, and inside your frame they give you this sick little leather bag, and you can take it out if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. Then you can store all types of cool things in here. Like I have snacks in here, I've got tire levers, I've got an extra tube, I've got CO2 cartridges, like literally pretty much anything you can imagine. I was able to fit like a small small jacket in here the other day when I rode, and I thought it was going to be rainy, which was super sick. So that's cool too. Overall, I think that's kind of the grand wrap up of the bike, and obviously I'll be able to tell you guys more and more about it as I've ridden it more, but so far this thing is a beast. I rode Laguna earlier today, or Aliso technically, and trails like Car Wreck and like Rocket and Lynx are literally no freaking problem for this thing. So that's honestly one of my favorite parts about this bike, is that it's just super confidence inspiring, and I can basically hit any trail that I want with it. But it still climbs like a freaking beast too. Like this climbs better than my old bike by a mile. So yeah, either way, I am totally in love with this bike, and I'm so stoked that it's mine. So yeah, I mean, that kind of sums it up for this video, but I'll put in some riding footage from me riding at Oaks, I think on the second day that I had it, and then I will obviously include this bike in the next video that I'm going to be uploading later this week, which is the Aliso Woods video, which you guys should all go watch because that one's going to be a banger too. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's probably a little short, but either way, stoked on the new bike, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you guys.